Afternoon. My name is Sanjiv Dodhia from Action Coach, and welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I'm pleased to say this afternoon we have Thiago Guimaraes from LGG Advisors with us to share his entrepreneurial journey. Welcome, Thiago. Good afternoon.
Hello, Sanjiv. Thanks a lot for the invite. Pleasure to be here.
Great. Thiago, why don't we kick off with you sharing a little bit about who you are, what you do, what the business's value proposition is, and who do you serve?
Sure. So LGG Advisors is a consulting and team augmentation service provider, working mostly with businesses in the financial services industry. We work with businesses worldwide, but most of our client base is in the UK. What does team augmentation really mean for those that are less familiar with the term? Team augmentation means that we have a pool of talents based out of Portugal and Spain that augments or expands the capacity of our clients in a number of fields. So it is different from outsourcing. It is different from freelancing, but in some ways can be comparable, as in it provides additional skill set, capacities, and capabilities for our clients.
Excellent. And who typically, who are these clients, and which sectors, which markets, which are the areas of specialization?
So most of our clients are investment banks, advisory firms, private equity funds, asset managers, and other businesses in the financial services industry. We are now working more and more also with corporates, but we're still very much connected to the financial services industry. Also because my background and my past has been, as a banker before, and so I built my network around, the financial services industry.
Okay, great. And what inspired you to get into this business, Thiago?
So when I was a banker with Barclays, we did have a service provider that helped, with outsourcing of certain, corporate finance tasks. And I thought that the business model was interesting, but I saw, many flaws in that service. And LGG Advisors is an attempt to use that same business model, but giving it a premium positioning where businesses can work with a team augmentation partner, but in a seamless way, where they don't have to compromise on quality, where they can work in the same time zone, and where they feel that we are a true extension of their teams. The experience I had before was an experience that was more related to pure outsourcing. So where a business takes a discrete piece of work, sends it, to the outsourcing service provider, typically on the other side of the world. They work on it, throughout the night and then send it back. But the level of interaction is low, and even the capabilities of those providers that I got to know at the time, were not really at par with investment banking skills. And so LGG being set up out of Portugal and Spain, in a certain way, allows these businesses to expand their capacity, but without having to compromise on quality. So they tap into a pool of talents, allowing them to scale up and scale down with flexibility, and working with live interaction throughout the day as a true extension of their team, and also benefiting from the cost arbitrage element, of course, which is also relevant.
Great, thank you for that. So what's your journey been like today as a business owner? Maybe share with us some highlights and some key challenges that you've overcome.
Sure. It's what I would say is full of ups and downs. There's certainly amazing moments where you celebrate successes with your team, but there's also failure. It comes with the job, right? There's also situations where you feel that things are not going well. You need to reiterate your business, go back to the drawing board and rethink your strategy. but overall, these past 5 years have been really tremendous, have been really amazing, and I've been very thankful with for the opportunity to work with such a talented team and with demanding and sophisticated clients that allow us to grow every day. So overall, really good experience.
I see that your team are from all over the world, not just one location.
So the offices are based in Porto, Lisbon, and Madrid, and then we have a business development office in London. But we do have people that come from all over the world to work with us. So they're physically located in these 3 offices. But it is true that one of the things that I like the most about our business is that we have, a lot of diversity. We have a lot of foreigners, working with us, and I believe that people feel, very welcome and very well integrated in the firm.
Really good. So Thiago, if you could share 1 or 2 key learnings from your journey, what might they be? What 1 or 2 things that stand out?
I think the most important aspects of being an entrepreneur is resilience. I think there's a thin line between being persistent and stubborn, and sometimes you do cross that line. But at the end of the day, persistence, resilience is incredibly important, because going back to what I just said before, it's normal for businesses to have a lot of ups and downs. And if you just give up when you have, a frustrating moment, obviously you don't get to experience then the moments where you do have successes. So I think you just need to continue persisting. I think it's important to surround yourself with people that can help you, define and execute the strategy for the business. It's important, obviously, for you to be very much connected to your clients to understand if your value proposition is making sense for them or not, and obviously make the necessary changes to the business to make sure that you are aligned with your clients. Make sure also that the staff is happy, working with you. But overall, I think that's most important factor, for you to feel that you're moving in the right direction.
Great share, thank you. So if you had to think about one person that's when you think about your success, one person that's provided the most input or inspiration to you, is there somebody that stands out?
Look, it's difficult to say one person, but I read somewhere something along these lines, that you are the average of the 6 people with whom you relate the most. And probably it is not a coincidence that most of my friends are also entrepreneurs. The fact that they also started their own businesses, started trying to innovate, to disrupt their businesses and the markets where they're in, also probably gave me some inspiration to do the same myself, or to at least try to attempt it. But I don't know, I don't really have an idol figure, but just try obviously to get influences from people that I think are a good reference, for me in the business world.
That sounds like a really useful network. Great. So what does the future look like for you and your business, Thiago?
So thankfully, we've been growing more than 100% every year, and I would love for us to continue on this path. Also, something we're doing besides increasing the team and gaining new clients is we've been diversifying also our service lines. So we were very much focused on team augmentation in corporate finance M&A. We now have a number of different areas where we also provide services. And I think expanding more into those services, being able also to get deeper into certain strategic locations, like certain markets such as the US, I think is also very important for us. But again, when you are a startup, and we've been doing this for 5 years, so I'm not sure if we can consider ourselves startup or not, but we certainly do have an ambitious mindset, of a startup. I think the best way to approach things is not to, plan too much, because life just tells you that there's many changes on a regular basis. So people that try to do a business plan on a startup, will ultimately see that their business plan, makes no sense. Reality is either going to be better or worse than what they've planned, but it's certainly going to be different. And so we try to plan for, our infrastructure, our strategy, our needs. But to be honest with you, we actually don't put many goals in terms of, what do we want to achieve. We just try to do our best, and I believe that if you do your best, results will ultimately appear.
Okay, sounds very adaptable and flexible. If somebody was starting out in business, what's your best advice to them, given the journey you've been on?
Someone starting in business, but do you mean someone starting a new business, or just someone starting
a business for themselves? What's the best advice?
So I think that first of all, seeking advice from others that have done the same, I think is always important. Seeking information about the product, market, industry you want to get into. Doing your homework in terms of understanding your competitive landscape, in terms of understanding, where can you stand within that value chain. I think it's important. So there's quite a lot of homework you can do to understand how interesting your product or service is going to be, in the market. But then ultimately, there's always an element of risk. So no matter how much you study and analyze the business, there's always a leap of faith that you need to take. And there, I would say, if you truly believe in what you're doing, just pursue your dream. And even if you fail, I don't think it's a big, it's a big problem. If you fail, you can always, do something different or try again in the future. I think it's important just to try. And the entrepreneurial experience by itself, is an interesting experience, even if you ultimately conclude that it's not for you. So if you're, really convinced that you should go ahead and just do it. I would say that just be prepared for what it entails, right? Because there is a number of sacrifices that you need to do, and you need to make sure that you're in the right time of your life and you have the right mindset and right profile for that.
Great advice. And advice to your own 18-year-old self?
Well, hard to say. I think when you're 18, you're still absorbing the experiences around you, right? There's a lot you still need to understand about, the world and how business works and so on. So I would just say, try to have good experience working alongside people that you believe, can be good mentors for you in your future. It's a time for learning, and so it's a time for you to just absorb what's around you. And have an open mindset to, probably discover new areas where you would like to, to work. I think if you have too many preconceived ideas when you're 18, probably won't be open to just have, new opportunities and new experiences, and to find out, new business ideas at that time.
Super. Well, Thiago, that's a really useful collection of insights and shared learning. If anybody wants to get in touch with you or with a business, what's the best way?
Well, I'm always available. Anybody interested can visit our website, lggadvisors.com. They can contact us through our website. or our contact form. They can contact me on LinkedIn. I always answer questions of people that contact me. So always happy to get some additional questions from those interested in discussing business or entrepreneurship or something else.
Great. We'll share all those details along with the notes to this video. Thiago, thanks so much for your time. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you very much, Sanjiv.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.